nigga. Hey, Daly, you still working out at Planet Fitness with that bench press of 185?
It's a no judgment zone there.
Well, it's not a no judgment, Joe. They still make that BBL at that price? You might want to get your money back. I was just kidding, though. That's all good. Woo! Hey, as you can see, everybody wants to get inside Morning Fitness, but we're not quite open yet, but we got a crowd of people. Everybody wants to get inside. So come check us out, Morning Fitness. We should be looking at getting open sometime at the end of February of this year, and it's going to be something special. This is really going to be something.
What'd you say about me?
I make for you to take them serious. How much a month?
Over 6 figures a month.
I was just about to say, yeah, she's high maintenance, y'all. So
I'll do over 6 figures a month. I think I should do that.
Man, I know some hoes who talk to a nigga so crazy, man. That's why you gotta have your own pay. The bitch gonna dog you out if she taking care of you. Bitch gonna talk to you like a peon, nigga, if you out here living like a chump, nigga. You better run this shit up and quit playing. That was my biggest motivation to get some pay, though. How a hoe treat you. How a hoe treat you when you down. That was my biggest motivation. I never wanted to feel like less of a man. Even though I've been a G. When I was broke, I was a G, so it never was about just physically having pay. But it's just about how a bitch look at you when you ain't got no pay. How they treat you when you ain't got no pay. That's gonna make you wanna get paid. That's gonna make you wanna keep paid. Bitch will treat you like a real chump, man. She gonna treat you like you ain't not him, knowing the whole time you him. And we live in a time where social media, like, everything a host on social media they want. And they looking on their homegirl page and all they see is them spoiled. You don't see the behind the scenes shit though. You don't see what a bitch gotta put up with to get all that shit. A bitch gotta get their head whooped, gotta get cheated on every day, gotta everything. Just to have a little Rolex or a little Chanel bag or just to even look like they enjoying their relationship. Half of them bitches don't even be happy. You should be happy with a nigga who just really trying.
How about he do what's best and go fight Earl Spence then? Shut up, take a little bit less money, be quiet, humble yourself, and fight Earl Spence, he a stud. Do what he say, and then you might be the challenger sometimes. Bob Arum don't give a damn about him. Bob Arum told him to his face, he done got lawsuits with his own promoter. You ain't worth shit to me, for real. You got Ennis, you got Garcia, you got Thurman, you got people making a name for themselves in your own weight division. Sit your ass in your weight division and see if you can beat one of them. Cause fucking with me, you gonna get knocked the fuck out. I'm a knockout artist, baby.
All right, my bad, y'all. Here doing some shit, but y'all see we talk about Floyd ain't fighting prime, fight Blacks in his prime, not starting now. T.O. took a dive. Al gone, Tank return, so it's gonna be short, simple, and sweet. Probably gonna be less than an hour. Shoot for 45 is good. We'll be about an hour or so. So obviously you're starting to see people push kind of the narrative of Crawford and Floyd Mayweather, or Floyd should fight him, and eventually when you don't have a big fight coming up, people start reaching for content, and a lot of people felt like he chose to come back when Crawford retired. And it's this belief that Floyd Mayweather Jr. Is this great fighter, this TBE, and if you say it enough, people start believing it. But if you know history, you can't be TBE or the best ever or the GOAT when you didn't fight, the best. He didn't fight black fighters. And the 3 occasions I remember him fighting black American fighters, especially Southpaw, he had trouble, with 2 Southpaws and DeMarcus Chop Chop and Zab. Chop Chop almost knocked his ass out. I believe after that fight, his father said from jail, I think whatever the following fight was, I could be wrong with this, but I know his father said this. I believe it was after the Chop Chop fight. His father said that, they better not ever put his son back in there with another southpaw. For people who know boxing and remember the history of that, y'all remember that telecast where they said his father called in from jail and said that they better not put Floyd Mayweather Jr. in there with another southpaw. This is history. This is real shit. You can go watch it. Chop Chop almost chop a style. Chop. We won't chop. We will, he almost, chop a dime. Remember French Montana had that song with Waka Flocka, chop a dime. He said that. He fought Zab, who was coming off the loss to Carlos Baldomir. And Zab, rocked his dome. Bit what happening. Bit what happening. Remember that from the Yin Yang Twin? Boom, it's on. We rock your dome. Bit what happening. Give me 1 minute, man. Hey, wait till I start streaming and start calling.
Ron Senior, when they were born, was this a vision you had?
I'm not LeBron James. I'm not gonna tell my kids what they have to do. I just wanted my kids to play and enjoy the game, and whatever they can get back out the ball game, we will take it. Once upon a time, I told them whatever opportunity that you have, you should have a chance to play in the NBA.
Been through a lot. I've been through a lot in my teenage phase. I went through a lot in my 20s. I made a lot of mistakes, and there was a lot of people who drugged me through the dirt for it. And I believed it for a long time. I wasn't nice to myself because of what others said about me until I knew who I really was and whose I really was, which is yours, Lord. Now nobody can shake how I feel about myself. Nobody can change how I feel about myself. Nobody can change how I be.
Oh my God. Shakur, and you just said y'all wouldn't fight each other. But let me ask you this. Do you think your skill level is up to par with his skill level?
I think I'm the best in boxing.
Come on, Keyshawn, man. I fuck with you, Keyshawn. Your skill level is up to Shakur's skill. Come on, man. Come on, man. You the best in boxing? He dead ass.
He didn't blink, killer.
He didn't blink. He didn't stutter.
He three, man.
I like that. I like that.
It's just
like
the last
that,
person told you that killer he went out.
Look, man, who out
But
here?
that's not Keyshawn.
Let's talk about 147 and fight him at his weight. Like, it's weird because, like, I know y'all seen the video when I was talking to his father.
Yeah.
And he's saying he told me to stand on my word.
Yeah.
All right, man, we're going to speed through this. I'm not going to kill it, but I should kill it. But we're going to speed through this, so give me a minute. So yeah, you see it. Floyd Mayweather, Terrence Crawford, boxing's biggest possible fight. And they're going to start pushing this. This is common sense. It's wrote by Eric Raskins. I'm not familiar with them. But they're going to start pushing this. But like I was saying, the 3 occasions that I remember he fought somebody black. And if you want to consider Diego Corrales black because his stepdaddy was black, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Gilberto Howell Jr., 1823. Salute to him. If that's what you want to do, whatever. But a lot of this, Shane Mosley was another guy. He wasn't a southpaw. Almost knocked Floyd out. So anytime, mostly Floyd, I can remember, and Sharpen Mitchell, he wasn't even in his prime. Anytime he really pretty much fought a brother in his prime, there was a near knockout opportunity. So, people say, well, Shane ducked him back in the day and woo. I mean, it is what it is. Can't go back and cry over spilled milk, feel me? But But like I said before, he wasn't fighting these guys in his prime. When Tim Bradley was an adversary, he pump faked offer. He wasn't trying to fight Devin Alexander when they was coming up for 140. He wasn't trying to fight Keith Thurman, made him the regular champion. Wasn't trying to fight Erislandy Lara, made him the regular champion at 154 pounds. See, and this is when you start having these boxing debates, and they don't start talking about it. You talking about what he could have hung with Tommy, he could have hung with Sugar Ray Leonard. He fought for far lesser talented fighters and understand styles make fights, and he had trouble. He had trouble. He avoided niggas. That's just what it is. So you can't really put him above Crawford. You can't put him above Crawford. Crawford took risks, and in Crawford's defense. When Mayweather's defense, Crawford was put in that position to take those risks. You listen to Jay Prince, they had to beg him to fight Diego Corrales. He didn't even want to fight Corrales. It was a bunch of guys he didn't want to fight. He told Austin Trout, if you beat Canelo, I'm not fighting you next. So people can masquerade it as, he didn't want to fight. They can masquerade it as, he didn't want to pass the torch, and that's another video that probably need to be had. Something about torch passing, but how he killed that. But yeah, at the end of the day, if he didn't fight, these killers in their prime, people saying Nate Campbell, he avoided Nate Campbell, he avoided Winky Wright. That's Chris, salute to him. You know what I'm saying? He did. And this is before he had juice. When he fought in Miami versus that Cuban, what was that, Dominican or Cuban? He fought Henry Brussels. Nobody was at that fight when he fought his 140-pound debut in Miami. So even before he was Money Mayweather, when he had to beg people like, Diddy, please come to my fight, please listen to the remix, he didn't do that. So when you really talk about debating and differentiating between him and Crawford, it ain't even close. They shouldn't even be in the same stratosphere on the top 50, top 100, top 25 list. It ain't close. And a lot of people don't really want to have that conversation because it's not close. He did not fight black fighters. Let's just call it what it is. And it's very interesting, before I kind of move on, because I'm not going to be long, move on from this topic. It's kind of interesting where he stands at on what happened with Ryan and Devin Haney. He never spoke out and said, spoke out about Ryan being on PEDS. Remember, this was the dude that was the poster child for Olympic-style drug testing, right? This is the godfather. He's the James Brown of VADA drug testing. He brought it to the sport of boxing. Now, did he bring it with the intentions to have goodwill? No, he didn't bring it. His intentions to bring VADA drug testing to boxing. It was the intent of ill will. And my people, what you mean? It was intent not to give you the fight that you wanted to make, the Manny Pacquiao fight. That's why he brought it. He brought Olympic style drug testing not to fight Manny Pacquiao. Now, kind of the forecast, I may end up talking about this in the video, putting in the Mayweather series, rightfully so. Because guess what? Even if it came out that Manny Pacquiao popped hot and he knocked out Mayweather or gave Mayweather a debatable or a close fight or dropped him or something like that, people would have said it didn't matter. The steroids didn't matter. You know why I say that? The foreshadow, the post shadow, I know that ain't a real thing, was Devin Haney. Devin Haney was cheated. This dude failed 2 different drug tests. The New York State Athletic drug test, and Ryan Garcia failed the VADA drug test. Nobody ever talks about that. He failed 2 drug tests, and also in addition to failing the 2 drug tests, he copped a plea with the New York State Athletic Commission to give up $1 million, which Oscar De La Hoya pocketed. Just let me know how shady boxing is. I get cheated, but the guy who popped hot promoter get the $1 million. So that's why Floyd Mayweather already knew, even if he would have fought Manny Pacquiao and he was juiced to the gills and he popped hot and he still won the fight, guess what? People would say you still lost. Now, if you put the shoe on the other foot and you say, well, Mayweather beat Pacquiao, he got caught juicing, then what they would have said, respectfully, what if they would have said, oh, it doesn't count? And let me show you how cold the transition game is. Let me talk about Richard Hitchens. It's all fun and games about Richardson Hitchens, right? And I ain't knocking it. What he did, I spoke on it. I really didn't kick him right down. People say he talked all that shit. He talked all that shit and he pulled out versus Oscar Durant. But notice, I want him to notice this, And respectfully, I want you guys to notice this. Look at the tone of some of the people who saying this about Richardson Hitchens. Then I want y'all to pay something. I got a video coming late tonight. It'll be late tonight for my West Coast people. But I want you to listen to how these dudes are talking. And I mean the FBA brethrens, how they're talking about Hitchens pulling out this fight, how they holding Hitchens accountable in the media, and the fans are holding Hitchens accountable. I want y'all, please listen to my remix. Please listen to. I want y'all to hear this. And I'm gonna come from an angle, and I've been sitting back listening to a lot of people talk about it. I'm not the biggest fan of Richard Hitchens, but I'm somebody that can understand and see his point of view when we having that conversation about, Mayweather holding him back, right? And he really got to get the money that he lost because Mayweather promotions didn't do what they're supposed to do. And I get what he's saying. But also I agree with a lot of other people saying you running your trap and you ain't doing shit. But let's go.
You be talking all.
Okay, I don't know what's wrong with the fucking audio again. Jeez Louise. Oh, my bad. That's on my end. Excuse me. Sheesh.
This trash, talking about this, talking about you be talking all this trash, talking about this, talking about that. Can't nobody beat you. Oh, Haney. Oh, Keyshawn Davis and all this shit, man. And you had a monster in front of you, bro, and you straight up bagged out of the damn fight. You a straight up buster, bro. Straight up buster. In the hood, we a buster, you already know he's a pretender. That's what a buster is in the hood. Yeah. What they call it, a blusterer. That's what the dictionary. You a blusterer, one of them dudes that boasts and talk shit and trash and all this shit and then bag out. Yeah, soft as hell, bro. For real. Yo, you be talking all this trash, talking about.
All right, let me say this, and you see a lot of people putting makeup on Richardson Hitchens' face. He's a McBuster. He's a McDouble. He's a fucking Whopper Jr. He's a Bluster, Cluster, Nuster, whatever, right? But where was this energy at when, Oscar Valdez or Oscar Durat himself said Ryan Garcia juice versus him? So Ryan Garcia had already got popped for 2 drug tests. He put it on Ashwagandha. He put it on the other pre-workout company. None of the companies sued him, but if a dude that looked like Richardson Hitchens did the same thing, he'd be getting so many defamation lawsuits, right? Where was this? Where was this at when Ryan Garcia popped hot? Where was this level of accountability and reckless talking when Canelo popped hot? Where was this when Eddie Renasso had all these fighters pop hot that was affiliated with him? The dude that went to the UK got pop hot that was just wore his patch. Luis Neri, Oscar Valdez, Ryan Garcia was an affiliate at the time. Canelo Alvarez, Julio Cesar Martinez. He had 5 fighters affiliated with him, pop hot, and the 6 men off the bench. And another possible because Andy Ruiz ain't never lost weight in his life till he went over there with Eddie Renasso. So my thing is this, where's the accountability? He didn't hurt nobody. Okay, he pulled out a fight. You got Bredman saying, well, Durat deserve his own purse. Guess what? That ain't black business. Give a fuck about Durat money. He didn't deserve a shot to begin with. Let's keep it a bean. He should have been fighting Keyshawn Davis. He really should have shot the fade with Sabril Matias when he had the belt, but it's receipts of him ducking. But I'm not here to make that case against him. You just notice how it's so much angry and ill will. Even, when it comes to Shannon Sharp forgiving Ryan Garcia for not even apologizing to him, oh, you accountable. You being, he didn't hold himself accountable to nothing. He still made excuses. Even going back to when Floyd Mayweather didn't fight Pacquiao because he refused the drug test. Guys like Michael Irvin, a lot of brothers was turning on Floyd Mayweather. I was in the trenches on that. Well, he's a coward, and they was buck dancing for Manny Pacquiao. But these dudes they don't talk with that same base. They don't talk with that same authority when it come to talk about these motherfucking cheaters in boxing, especially Eddie Renasso. They don't talk with that same authority. You notice that a lot of the American old fighters or the American media, I'm talking about black people, the black media, they go so hard on their people. Look how hard they went on Deontay Wilder when he lost to Tyson Fury before this excuses. But when AJ lost, it was, oh, keep your head up. We love AJ, Clarissa Shields and them, all, consoling AJ. You'll be all right. Just think about it. This dude pulled out of a fight. Whatever reason, he said he was sick. What about the times where Canelo Alvarez used to change the weight at the weigh-in? The fight was at 154. Now it's at 155, 156, whatever it is. Where is that energy at from when they do fuck nigga shit? Where's that energy at when Fondora claimed that he had a broken nose? Okay. When Fondora claimed he had a broken nose to avoid blood and he didn't have no broken nose. Where was his claim at when he wanted to pull out a 10-pound rehydration clause on Xander Zayas? And he dug Xander Zayas and he dropped 2 belts. Sebastian Fondora should be 1 belt away from undisputed. He dropped 2 belts. Okay, where was the backlash and the backlash and this tone when and they see these videos for sure. They seen Bruce video, they seen Dante video, and they see my video that followed their video when Mazaliev called Boots a gorilla. Did Boots ever even respond and step up for himself? But then again, and I like Stephen Brett Edwards. We got Stephen Edwards talking about the rat deserves his full purse. Man, I don't give a hell if the rat don't get a penny. That's up to Golden Boy, because when Devin Haney should have got some of that $1 million when Ryan popped hot and the New York State Athletic Commission gave to Oscar and Oscar ain't give him no money, that's what you do. When you do whole shit like that, whole shit come back on you. That's why it's company on the brinks, and I ain't talking about the security company. Yeah, I mean, I ain't talking about the security company. When you do whole ass shit come back, and it's hard for us not to be vengeful. It's hard for us to be patient. It's hard for us to believe like, oh man, don't nothing come back on us. We don't see what people go through. We got to keep faith in God. It's all a balance. But just notice how they talk about a brother like Richardson Hitchens. But when the others come up and they up on jury and they on trial, you know the Hispanics not going to hold each other's feet to the fire. They stay on cold. Look how quick they literally willing to jump out on this young brother, and he ain't spoke. He ain't said nothing. Fuck what Oscar De La Hoya talking about. So what? And now he don't owe him shit. He didn't deserve the title shot to begin with. He don't owe you hear Oscar. Well, he owe him. I don't owe you nothing. Or if you hear Mason Cam, oh yeah, if he don't do this, man, if he don't these nuts. They all habitual coon steppers, bro. And I don't even think they coherent to it. They don't even understand it. They don't even pay attention and watch themselves. It's like when they say, well, I want to do women listen to the videos that they put out here on TikTok about what they saying and listen how stupid they sound. I don't even think they even understand. You know, I don't even think they understand what they doing. When Stephen A sitting here and he taking the bullet for Massa, Dana White, when he sucking Aaron Rodgers down and all that, but then he got all this vitriol for the brothers. He got his vitriol for Kyrie. I think he really don't even look at his work and understand to see what he did wrong. I guarantee you, if he sat down and seen what he did wrong, he'd see why people call him a sellout. Just notice what these dudes be doing. And it's equal. If you an equal opportunity smoke giver, hey man, respect. I can't say nothing to you. If you keep the same tone, you keep the same consistency, you can't say nothing about it. But guess what? We the only people on this planet that hold each other accountable more than we hold anybody else accountable. I never forget when they always Benzino every 10, 15 years, he bring up them Eminem tapes about him saying black women ain't shit, white women is better. You know what I'm saying? I remember they bring up them tapes. You know what they say? You know what they say? Well, he said he was sorry. Black women say that. He said a black girl had just heard him. Show me a picture with Eminem ever being with a black woman. And they forgave Eminem. But guess what? Some stuff that we didn't even do to hurt the community, we didn't even do it. And they will never forgive the black man. They will never forgive us for some shit we ain't even do. And if you want an education on that, I dropped a video this morning with that Paul Pierce side chick on there. The thumbnail say loud, proud, and wrong. If you want a small education. So at the end of the day, won't you niggas start being on code? It's just like black people in this space, or just, you know, in general, let's just take the internet. Let's look at the manosphere. They couldn't wait. Whoever get exposed, they can't wait to expose them. They can't wait to, oh man, he's a hypocrite. And you live in the same life. You a hypocrite ass ninja, but they can't wait to kick each other when they down because it's a competition. And when Kevin Samuels died, you seen a lot of them. You seen a lot of them dudes Dry hating on Kevin Samuels, bro. This is why they got the saying, well, you know, when your father died, that's the only man that wants you to be better than him. Nigga, that ain't true. Niggas, every man don't think that way, bro. You think it ain't NBA basketball coaches, mentors, teachers that don't have students that they want to see better than them? That's bullshit. When you hear these false sayings and all this, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. If you believe that everybody's so vengeful and hateful and all that, I love to see young brothers thrive. I love to see brothers who I don't even get along with in this space. If they make it, shout out to them. I'm happy that you made it. I'm happy that you a better man. That don't make me bitter because you surpassed me. That don't make me bitter. That motivate me that I can do it. I remember Tyrese, he did a live stream. I forget, not too long ago. I forget who he was on live with. And he said, you know, it's our duty to be, I'm paraphrasing, to be flashy online. It's our duty to show off the yachts, the boats, the mansions, the cars. He said it's our duty to our black brothers. You know why he said that? So they can know it's possible. That's what he said. He said it's our duty to show them that you can get, I'm paraphrasing, you get the Rolex, the Corvette, so you know you can do it. Anything is possible. That's what he said, to let young brothers know you can do it. I remember Black Youngster had a song. I can't remember the song. You know, he said, I forget what he said. He said something like, I forget what he said, but he said, young nigga, you can make it. He said, if I do it, you can do it too. I forget where I go. Might have been Lamborghini, you know, woo, lease. He said, but young nigga, if I can do it, you can do it too. It's your duty. People might think it's flexing. You know, hate niggas think it's flexing when a nigga just showing off his shit, but it's motivation. It's motivation. Motivate. You shouldn't get bitter, want to rob, want to steal. It should make you hungry. Some people believe in some of these blanket statements. Oh, that's the only man that want to see you do better. You think your grandfather don't want to see you be better than him? You think that coach that out of all the 53 players on the team or 10, 16 players on the team that coach you hard, that take you home, that make sure you got a couple dollars in your pocket, you think that man don't want to make sure, don't want to see you be better than him? Don't be believing these blanket statements these niggas be coming up with. Respectfully, don't be believing that shit. There's plenty of young brothers that, you know, I didn't been to school with that if they, I hope they make it, bro. And I ain't even bitter. You ain't even got to take me. I hope you make it. I ain't bitter if you surpass me, homie. Every person don't think in a selfish mindset, bro. Every person don't think like that. Let me say that. But at the end of the day, you ever notice these black people can't wait to hold another brother accountable, but it's real delayed or it's real silent or it's real suppressed when it comes to holding the other accountable. Don't forget that. It's real suppressed when it comes to hold the other accountable. Don't forget that shit. So while it's fun and games to pile up on Richardson Hitchison because he talks shit and all this type, don't forget all these cheating ass niggas they gave a pass, all these racists they gave a pass. Don't forget that. All these others, they gave a pass. So I'm not about to like really pile up on them, man. I done seen worse. I done seen dudes pull out of fights to avoid drug testing. I done seen dudes pull out of fights. Sebastian Fondora pull out of fight somebody he with one shit wrong with him. Seen dudes give up belts and ain't got half the backlash this dude got. He don't owe Oscar the Rat shit. He didn't even owe him this opportunity. But you're going to have this habitual Timothy Hector Bradley. You're going to have him talking that bullshit. Nigga, keep that same energy for these racists, then, Tim. Keep the same energy when he's about Eddie Renasso. We need an hour live stream about Eddie Renasso. Apply pressure for that. Come on, man. I'm just keeping it a bean. I'm just keeping it a thigh wow. Floyd used USADA, my bad. Same, well, not really saying under the same comment. Floyd failed the test after the. I don't know about that, so I can't say he did. He said he fought Zab coming off a loss. He fought Zab coming off a loss, and he got dropped. So at the end of the day, go back to the beginning of the video. I know y'all came in a minute, and I explained everything in the middle of the video. He lost. That wasn't prime Zab. And he got dropped. And Zab came off a loss to Carlos Baltimore. Come on now. I know my history. Shane Mosley was past his prime and still, once again, go back to the beginning of the video, almost got knocked the fuck out. Just go back to the beginning. I start off hot. It's not much of an introduction. These were not prime black fighters. These wasn't the guys that he should have been fighting. The Tim Bradley FT conquered the 140-pound division. All right? He avoided him. He avoided the motherfucking Keith Thurman, made him a Reggie champion. He avoided Eric Sandior, had him beat a Reggie champion. Told Austin Trout had he beat Canelo, he wasn't fighting him. These are just random names that I'm coming with off top. Go back to the beginning of the video. You know what I'm saying? And, there you have it. Easy salute. I see LeVar Ball talking again. And Hans, I'm going to watch that video, bro. I just, probably tomorrow. It almost made me lose my mind at work today, dog. So, but yeah, let's move on, man. So hopefully, like I said before, man, you got to put a lot of this into, how can I say it, in the context. Just listen to how they talk. Now, if you consistent, I can't say nothing about it. If you can show me some consistency, when something happened to a brother, they can't wait to race to get their camera. I ain't like that. Even though, people like, you hate everybody. I don't hate everybody. I just keep it a bean. I love Bill and Devin. Bill's a real dude, bro. Bill's a real good dude, bro. I'll say that. Bill's a real good dude. Austin Trout is a good dude. I interviewed Austin Trout 15 years ago. Or 10 years ago, excuse me. A little bit more than that, probably. I interviewed Joel Diaz back in the day. I interviewed Jack Catterall, really good dude. Josh Taylor was a really solid dude. Kevin Cunningham, he came on, really solid dude. I've like it's a, but a lot of these dudes, man, I've been on with Nate. Shout out to Nate Campbell, really good dude, funny dude. But let's move on, bro. So T.O. said he took a dive. So I have a video coming tomorrow with the screenshot. But he said, he followed the script and in the comment section. Now, at the end of the day, Shakur Stevenson, and I ain't really gonna dig too deep because I got a video coming about it. But Shakur Stevenson, you know what I'm saying? You know what he said? He said, Bruce had the clip after the fight, I was reading the scores. You know what he said? That dude said that I want my daughter to meet your daughter. Right? That's what he said. So he said he felt bad for him because he was in the back by himself. You feel bad for somebody that said that about your people? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. You want your daughter to be friends and meet his racist ass son. I mean, his racist ass and meet his son. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? And now what did he do? What did he do? What did he do? He took away your victory. He said, well, I just followed the script. Okay, cool. He followed the script. So basically, he's saying that he took a dive. And then also there can be some credence there. Because, remember, Turkey said he wasn't working with him no more. That's why Hitchison said they fight fell apart. Because he said that, the Saudis was done with him after some comments he made about Turkey. Then all of a sudden, they able to make him and Shakur fight. And Shakur kept extending the olive branch. I don't think T.O. was racist. Remember, he said that in the live stream. Then after the fight, he said he wanted his daughter and his son to meet each other. His daughter, T.O.'s son. Then he talked about, I feel bad for him. He was back there by himself after the fight. He fought him like he had love for him. He beat him like it's a nigga you got love for. Like if you had to fight your brother, you know what I'm saying? It's your brother, so you don't really want to beat his ass. He fought him like that. That's the second racist he gave a pass to that he didn't put the Beast by jersey on him like he's supposed to, give him the Brick City beating. Joey Gonzalez was blatantly racist towards him. The whole family was. He gave him a gentle ass whooping. And the same thing he just did with T.O. He had every piece of motivation to put their dicks in the dirt. to try to send them with their wings to the bottom room where they going through. No, send them with their devil ears and tails to the bottom room. He didn't do it. So don't tell me about, oh, he sold this many pay-per-view. Man, if you believe that, you dumb as the days is long. Don't tell me about, oh, stall him out, Debo. I ain't stalling him out shit. I'm giving you all the facts and the proof to the nature. He standing the avalanche. He wanted to take his two motherfucking top lip and bottom lip and kiss this racist ass. And at the end of the day, what did he do? He said, I took a dive. I followed the script and taking away from your victory. You know people gonna believe it because it looked that bad. It looked that uncompetitive. It looked like he didn't even try. It looked like you carried them. People saying you should have did more. So by you carrying a guy that you got at your mercy and you just throwing 1 or 2 punches at a time and you didn't want to unload or punch through the target like you should have, hey, guess what? People going to be like, oh, dude look like he carried him. Why didn't he put him down? He followed the script. Cool. And this is what I be telling you, man. Being a shoe shiner, a bootlicker, a porch monkey, whatever you want to call it, being a raccoon, it don't pay. It don't pay, homie. It don't pay. It doesn't pay. It doesn't pay. At the end of the day, you still look like you got banana on your face. It still look like you got banana on your face. Let's keep it real.
I just don't understand. I take from it as like we sparred plenty of times. So like, which time are you talking about? We can't. It ain't like we didn't spar so many different times. Did you choose that sparring session specifically that you felt like you did good in, that made you get confidence or something? Like I just don't understand it. So, honestly, from what I took with the sparring and every session that I had with him, I always felt like I was the better fighter. I never felt like he was a better fighter than me or did anything better than me. The only thing that he ever had over me when we sparred was size. But him being the younger fighter, I was always ahead. Like I was always.
My thing is this: they do all this fucking talking. Just fight. Just fight. You trying to fight Ryan? He trying to fight Ryan? Just fight. We don't got to talk about we did in sparring. We just showed on sparring where Keyshawn beating the dog shit out your ass. We seen clips of Keyshawn beating the fuck out of you in sparring. Okay, what they got to do? If y'all fight, that may or may not happen. It may happen and look totally different. What's the point of talking about something that you ain't willing to do? That's my thing. That's the problem. This is how they build up fights, but all of it do is build up anger. He say, she say, he say, he say, he say, they say, he say. Well, you have an opportunity. The money is there with Turkey. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't turn down the fade for the fight, the money for the fight. Make the fight. As simple as making Virgil Ortiz and Jerron Ennis with Turkey, they couldn't make it. Without Turkey, they can't make it. And y'all be wondering why people get mad. What are we even asking the question for? I don't want to know. I don't want to hear from Bill and Devin. I don't want to hear from Shakur. If the fight ain't gonna be next, I don't want to hear it. Same thing for Keyshawn. Don't even call out a nigga's name that you're not willing to fight next. We done with that shit. Don't even mention each other because it's like, oh, we friends and we don't want to fight each other. But then Devin the op and y'all still don't want to fight Devin. Little nigga Richardson Hitchison, he don't want to fight him. Keyshawn, he just clout chasing. He don't want to fight him. And nobody asked Keyshawn to fight the nigga. Keyshawn got 15 fights. We understand. You know what I'm saying? We get it if you want to wait till you get a little bit more. We not tripping about it. But this is the beta. This beta shit, just talking. I'm not talking. Don't ask me about a question. I'm not fighting the nigga next. I'm trying to get Ryan. I ain't got nothing to say about it. When we cross paths, I'm gonna talk about it. That's simple as that. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? It's cool if you want to fight Ryan Garcia next, either one of them. I don't care. I have the choice to watch it or not watch it. That's fine. I have the choice to talk about it or not talk about it, but don't talk about some shit you ain't willing to do next. That should be a new rule in boxing. Don't call my name if we ain't fighting next. Simple as that. We get it. I'm done with it. I'm done with we friends or we enemies or Tank. I'm done with it. Either we fighting or we not fighting. It's as simple as that. If y'all not fighting, don't even say nothing until the shit is something. Matter of fact, don't say shit until y'all in the ring. I don't want to hear shit. The ring walk, the press. I want to see you niggas in the ring and it go ding, ding, ding. And y'all about to go to the meet in the middle of the ring. I don't want to hear shit. We did enough build up. We did enough promo. We did enough talking. I fight. If y'all not fighting, I don't care what y'all did in sparring. I don't care what y'all did in bid with, space, connect four, pool, golf, top golf, putt, whatever. At LA Fitness playing one-on-one. I don't even want to. I don't give a fuck no more. If y'all want to fight Ryan Garcia, I'm not mad at it. Continue to chase Hector and put boxing in a bad way. They so fucking blind that they don't see where they taking the money from and they don't see what they doing. They causing their own destruction. And when they look back, nobody's going to take accountability until they 50 or 60 that they fucked the sport up. Nobody want to be responsible for destroying the sport. Nobody wants to be responsible for it. It's crazy, bro. Nobody want to be responsible for what they done. Nobody want to have accountability in this shit, bro. None of them, dog. Don't say nothing if y'all ain't willing to fight. I don't care if y'all friends. Y'all was cool. We cool with it. We accept the fact of it. Let's talk about shit that's going to happen. If it's little shit popping or if it's big shit popping, that's what we're going to talk about. Y'all want to continue to put the battery in Ryan back? I'm not mad at it. I've accepted that that's what y'all going to do. Y'all want to go for easy kills. Y'all okay with Ryan Garcia juicing up. Y'all okay with Ryan Garcia calling y'all niggers and shit. Y'all cool with it. Y'all want to make money with Ryan. The number one thing to hurt a motherfucker is not let them get money, not use you, not be around. Just the number one thing, your silence. But they want to turn them up. Instead of get money and put money in the Stevenson family pocket, put money in the Haney pocket, they want to go get that. They want to go help that Mexican get some money. If that motherfucker really goes 0 to 100% split, then I'll fight him. But y'all don't understand. Y'all cool with it though. Y'all ain't challenging Turkey character, looking at what he did in the past. Go look at what the fuck he did in the past. You, like I said in my other video, you think Daniel Kinahan disappeared and he just emerged from the fucking trenches? You think that's a fucking you think, and I'm assuming this is just a hypothesis. You think that's a coincidence? It absolutely isn't a coincidence. And I'm gonna say this before I move on, and we're gonna talk about Al and Tank and Al in that order. As a man, you cannot afford to not know where the money coming from. No man will spare you. But Al Heyman, they couldn't afford not to know where the money coming from. You can't have I don't know or don't want to know attitude. As a man, you can't do it. Nobody is going to feel sorry for you. Nobody's going to stall you out. Nobody going to give you the benefit of the doubt like the women do. Y'all better go check that nigga's track record. Y'all better look at all this. Y'all taking the devil's money. And then when he come to collect, when he come for your soul, like Shang Tsung, y'all see that Mortal Kombat 2 trailer fire. And he come for your soul. I don't want to hear niggas crying. I'm not going to feel bad. Because we got these phones in our hand. We got all the information we need right there. But I'm gonna say this, and this will be my lesson for tonight. As a man, you cannot afford not to know. You cannot afford not to know. You must know. It might hurt, but a lot of times when it hurt in the beginning, save your ass on the back end. So apparently Gervonta Davis is coming back. Brother Calvin, I talked about that a little bit more yesterday or the other day. I'm not mad at Gervonta for coming back. I knew it. I told you, can't nobody in this economy miss a paycheck, myself included. We cannot in this economy. Oh, you talking about how you doing? Come on, get your ass up here. Here you go, right here. This is who I be rubbing off camera. He's alive and well. I'm thinking about going to get Mason back. I located my fucking dog. And I'm just trying to figure, I want to know how you doing. I might just put the bread up and get Mason back. I don't know. I'm thinking about taking the money over there and getting it back. But, if he formed a bond, I don't want to come fuck his life up. If he formed a bond, he would be happy to have Mason back for like 5 minutes. And then it's like, nah, nigga. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. If I do, I was about to get thinking about getting shit. I'm about to buy a crib, but I'm definitely getting a broiler boy, but I'm definitely getting another smaller dog in general. So yeah, I might get another mini pen. I'm definitely about to get another crib, a crib. So I'm probably gonna move back to the city. This white folk shit. I don't know, or urban city, urban community, something like that, urban suburbs or something like that. But yeah. But the thing about going to the city, niggas got water problems. I have to put a water filter in the house, a generator. The power grid is trash. But honestly, dog, I prefer the city. I'm gonna keep it a bean. He said Miles got bigger. Oh yeah, hell yeah. Remember it was a puppy. I ain't get rid of Mason. Mason went with Mason's original owner. I'll just leave it at that. We parted ways. They kept Mason and Minnie. They had puppies too. And I don't know where Minnie at. That was my girl. But yeah, I kept Miles. I'm like, shit. Miles won't let me go nowhere. I take vacation, Miles be crying and shit. But we attached at the hip at this point. So just ride or die with this dog. Good dog though. But yeah, I was on my Tank. So yeah, so you had Coach Calvin said, the fight that Tank fighting is promoted right between our nose. And I'm just talking about this economy. We can't afford to nobody can afford to miss a paycheck. People think the amount of money that you getting real quick is the end all be all. Nah. Even managing the money is not always the most important, as important as you think it is. Getting money and managing it. What's also important is what comes along with the money. So you're talking about health benefits, also, how it's going out. I was listening to Cash Doll and she was talking about, you having a slew of people say they made a mistake and her worst purchase was a $2 million mansion. One thing you gotta, just going back to the Boondocks episode when he bought the mansion with the water slide, it was costing too much money. The water slide, he was like, turn the water off, and Ed came down, his ass was burning. Y'all remember that episode? So, what you got going, what's coming in and how you managing it is cool. But the benefits, if you paying for benefits, I think Shannon Sharp saying he's paying $30,000 out of his pocket for health benefits. You gotta remember all his kids grown. So ain't no fucking Blue Cross Blue Shield, HAP, United Healthcare, in boxing. So who knows? Out of the year, if you got a dependence in as they probably paying 30, 50K, 60K out of pocket a year for that too. Think about that for a minute. Then if you taking care of everybody, if you taking care of everybody here, there, and there, you taking care of everybody. Go look at MC Hammer. You bound to go broke. So yeah, Tank. Tank. He got to return. He got to work. Tank probably gonna be fighting till he's 40 and 52. That money come, that money go, that money come, that money go. You think Al didn't get down on him too? You thought Al was just good to him. If Al was good to him, why wouldn't Al be good to Floyd Mayweather, the guy that jump started this shit? Is it good to you? No, Al wasn't no heavy D to these niggas. Light skin, butter pecan, brown, bald headed, cornrows and not. Al treat these hoes all the same. Hit the blade. So yeah, with Tank coming back, does it really move the meter? If he rematch Ryan, it wouldn't shock me. It doesn't move the meter for me because I know we're not gonna get the fight that we want to get. Unless, Tank, you got to drag Tank. Tank will go get a brick and chop a brick down before he fight Devin Haney, before he fight Shakur Stevenson. Tank is 31 years old. He's 31 years old and don't have a heart. So, unfortunate, though. But other than that, I'll close out with Al. Give me 1 minute. I'll close out with Al. I ain't going to be long on him. But hold on. But yeah, and I'll talk about Al. You know, Earl talking about, yeah, me and Al, I'm still loyal. Al is gone, bro. These niggas just saying this to keep up a facade. Al is long gone. Al hasn't been seen from since Earl Spence lost to Terrence Crawford. So they can act like Al's still good and act like the suspension ain't here and hide behind the name of Al Heyman. Remember they were saying that Al Heyman didn't exist. I'm starting to believe he's gone. Everything I hear, he's gone. So they can act like Al is still here and Al is around. It's basically like, y'all ever seen Home Alone, the first one? Y'all ever seen Home Alone, the first one? Where he was tricking Marv and Harry to believe his parents was home, and he had the little blow up doll in the or was that the second one? I think he did it in the first and the second one. You know, and he was doing it, making it seem like somebody was in the shower to trick them to not to rob the house. That's pretty much what they doing with Al Heyman. That's pretty much what they doing with Al Heyman. That's exactly what they doing, tricking people to believe that he's still around. He ain't around. He ain't been running shit for a long time. You know, and nobody want to talk about, come back to the hood and talk about, well, he ran off with my money or he tricked me with my. Nobody want to talk about they got finessed. So he can tell me I'm loyal to Al Heyman and all this type of stuff. Cool. You can keep telling that lie that he want to keep telling. But in reality, the dude is gone. He gone with their money. And if you don't believe me, the rumors is he going over to Australia for $2.5 million. Remember, didn't he fight like Lamont Peterson? How long ago was that? He fought Lamont Peterson and he got $3.5 million. Didn't he fight Lamont Peterson like on his birthday or something like that? He went from getting $320 to $3.5 million overpaid for allegedly for the Lamont Peterson fight in 2018. You fast forward over 7 years, it was January 20th, it wasn't near his birthday. January 20th, 2018, you fast forward, he can be coming back this summer and he's taking almost $1 million pay cut. You're talking about he's taking $1 million pay cut. Think about that for a minute. He's taking $1 million pay cut. Come on. Come on. Do that sound right? If Al was around, Tim Tszyu would be coming to Dallas and they had the money. So, believe it or not, believe what you want to believe. They can hide behind Al. They can hide behind those things. And I'm not mad at it. Nobody want, they probably can't even legally say that Al Heyman not around no more. They probably legally can't say it. I'm not mad at it. But them faking it like he's still around, faking it like he's still doing his thing. At the end of the day, we inquiring minds, may wonder and still think that he's around, but he's not. He's gone, and nobody want to talk about how a dude ran off with their who ran off with their money. Nobody want to say this nigga ran off on my bread. But rumor is Floyd Mayweather, respectfully, he found a lawyer to get him from under that contract. So if you found the lawyer to get you from under that contract, you think he'll be able to pass the word off to his people. You think he'd pass the word off to his people. And really, it is what it is. It'll make him look pretty bad because you didn't even get a good deal. This was your man's. This is the guy that you basically used Floyd Mayweather as a false advertiser to drive them to PBC, and he was getting fucked. And this is how you know Gervonta Davis got to come back. This is how you know he had to come back. So, yeah, it is what it is, man. But it's sad. Yeah, bark. Yeah, bark at these niggas. So, yeah, Al been there for 10 years now. I don't know if it's been 10 years, but, you know, so be it. You know, Bart Better BF said that. Sit, you know, chill out. But Better BF said he signed a deal with him and he never met the man. Come here. Why is he at the door? Oh, you hear that dog? He said BBC got too big, can't feed. It ain't that got too big. It wasn't too big. Their business practice wasn't built on. Sit down. Down. I don't want to be your friend. Sit. Their business practice was bad. You know, you in a supply and demand. The demand was to see, even if they made the biggest fights on PB, even if they made the biggest fights on PBC. Sit. Good boy. Even if they made the biggest fights on PBC, they would have survived. He would have got that million from Paramount, that billion from Paramount. But he didn't. All these companies went out their way not to make the biggest and the best fights. NBA doing the same thing. You know, people paid their hard-earned money to see the Pistons and the Thunder tonight. The Thunder come one time and they sit all their starters. Guess what? That's going to tell people, I'm not spending money at the NBA. I don't know if they're going to play. They low managing playoff games. They low managing, you know, nationally televised games and syndicated. You know, it's just disrespectful to the consumer. If you don't get a consumer what they want, why would they pay for it? Streaming wouldn't even be a thing. Honestly, it wouldn't be as big as it was if they would just give us the fights that we wanted. Most people would be willing to pay $50 to $100 to see the fights that they wanted. But when you hold your nuts and say, basically, you don't have to say it word for word. When you hold your nuts and say, fuck the fans and fuck your core fan base, or we don't care what y'all want. We worried about what the casual wants. The casuals want what the hardcore fans want. Ain't no difference in that. 90% of the time, the casuals want what the hardcore fans want. So they went out their way. Didn't I find it fishy that they went out their way to protect the fighter so much in a business where nobody cared about the fighter and still don't? So they went out their way to protect the fighter so much. And what still happened? They still broke. They still got fucked in a different way. They got finessed into thinking that this guy loved me. He cared about. Sit down. That he loved and he cared about me so much. But it was the same results at the end. Sit down. Down. Yeah, lay down. Yeah, lay down. Yeah, get your stomach rubbed. There you go. But yeah, it was the same kind. Oh, we love you, we care for you, but the action still said, fuck y'all. That's what it was. Had they delivered the fights that fans wanted to see, they had enough fighters on their own side of the street. They would have took over the game. But the objective, from my opinion, was never to provide a great boxing experience. It was to just seem like you got some of them dudes, no matter how legit you are, they want to do illegal shit. They just illegal motherfuckers. They whole thing, you got people that's just kleptos that like to steal. I believe that's what it's called. Come on now. There wasn't nobody even doing nothing then. Kleptos, or people like to steal. You got people that just like to, you know, hurt people and beat people up and kill people for no reason. You got those type of people. It just seemed that Al Heyman is just a crook. He just liked to finesse people. Had he just, you know, had a second chance in the boxing industry and he would have just made the fights that fans want to see, he would have still made out like a fat rat. He's just a guy that allegedly a guy that just like to just finesse people and took their money. He could have did it the right way and be able to show his face in public and should be able to eat a meal. You got some people, I mean, I believe 50 Cent said it. He said, you know, I think in one of his books, he wrote about Tony Ayo. He was like, yeah, you know, every time we would do this legal shit, Tony Ayo, we get this show money. Tony Ayo want to go take the money and get a brick. He just had that hood mentality. Some people They can go to Harvard. You know, they always talk about like you know, black women are all the same, whether it's the Pukishas or it's the nurses or it's the women, black women in corporate America, right? But a lot of times you got, you know, black males like Al Heyman. It doesn't matter. No matter if you take them out the hood and you show them caviar, you show them they have a brain for Harvard, they just gonna be a criminal. The only difference, Al Heyman would have been an enterprise selling dope, or he could have been an enterprise finessing musicians, or he been an enterprise finessing boxers. It's just that he whatever he did was gonna be illegal. He did something illegal, but found loopholes to make it legal. Just think about it for a minute. Think about it for a minute. It's some people that's going to forever be crooked. That's just their nature. They forever going to be crooked. However you slice the cake, however you use the knife, no matter if it's the straightest knife in the world, when they slice that cake, it's still going to be crooked. It's not going to be a perfectly sliced cake. Some people this is why you got to watch your friends. As y'all develop from 9, 10, 15, 20, people develop they care. That is what they is. There's some people that's just born to fuck up. There's some people, no matter how good the opportunity is, they fuck it up. How many people we see and go on YouTube? They have they hot as fish grease, and then they fuck it up. We got some people who got a great job. They get a once in a lifetime opportunity. They fuck it up. And you got people on the other side of the thing that no matter what situation they put them in, they thrive. You give them sewage water, somehow they make Kool-Aid, and it's not poisonous. So you have to understand that it's just some people that's just always going to be a fuck up. Some people that's always going to be a hindrance. Some people that's always going to drag the situation down. And you also got to learn how to read people. When you have people that is inferior next to you, you got to watch them. And they subconscious about inferior. Oh, you think you know everything, or you think you smarter, you think you better. When you start hearing shit like that, bro, in a joking manner, in a serious manner, got to get away from that person. No matter if it's your own blood, you got to get away from people like that. When people start feeling inferior around you, if you're at the workplace, you got to watch yourself. When there's an inferior complex of somebody's brain, you gotta watch people like that, bro. They want to hurt you. You know, instead of getting the knowledge from you and doing it, they want to hurt you. Inferiority is the next thing after that is jealousy, is envy, is hatred, is I must take you down. And you can show love to somebody that, you know, you're going to take with you. I'm going to take you with you. I love you. And it'll be the very same people that stab you on your back. I had a video about Pippa Ken I reacted to. Y'all gonna see on this channel. I don't know when y'all gonna see it, but you'll know it when you see it. You know, he said, you know, trust. He said trust is something that you can't afford to give. And the way he broke it down, now when I heard that video, I said, yeah, I definitely got to do a reaction to that. You can't afford to give the trust. You know, so when you look at all this type of stuff, it's just some people born to be what they are. Some people born to be devils. Some people born to be good. Some people born to thrive in any situation. Going back to that movie, The Maze Runner. If you never read the books, I'm going to order the books. But if you never watched the movie, you feel me, or never wrote the books, guess what? No matter where they put Thomas at, Thomas thrived. No matter where they put Thomas at, Thomas thrived. Now, his little girlfriend, no matter where they put that little bitch at, she was just a fuck up. She was born to backstab. Wherever they put that girl at, she backstabbed them. No matter how good Thomas was, Thomas put his life on the line to save that woman. No matter what he did for her, she stabbed him in the back every time. But no matter what environment they put Thomas in, he came up on top. Because you got to understand, when you understand the Bible, see, a lot of people, you know what's so funny? I met a guy. Well, I got some time. I met this guy. I'm gonna tell you this. We in the sauna, we talking, it was a bunch of us. And it was this white guy. He's a cool guy, right? And he was like, yeah, you know, I used to be an atheist, right? He said, I used to be an atheist. He said, but I started researching and I started finding out that there were artifacts and there were proof of a lot of things that's in the Bible. He said that made me not be an atheist no more. A lot of people tend to be a non-believer when they don't understand something, when they don't research nothing. Once you start researching, like some people can be a believer off of faith, right? They may not understand the Bible or understand it but they believe and they understand the power. It's just something I really can't explain. When you have faith and you believe things just religiously, or spiritually, it happens, but you got some people who don't understand it. So they're atheists. So they don't do the research. They don't understand there are artifacts. There are factual things that are real that we can touch, feel, research, study, and prove that makes a lot of things in the Bible that's truthful. And also the other thing, when you talk about the lack of research in the Bible, all the real scriptures, they never talk about the real scriptures in the Bible. So a lot of things in the Bible that you see when you talk about Samson and the women that he dealt with, that alone, that's something that correlates to that. That alone will show you that his synopsis on women in the Bible, and you look at, what's the real popular chick, the chick that he talked about, I forget the girl's name. The one that not Delilah, it's the one that they talk about so much in the male manosphere spaces. The real, it's just eluding me right now. Somebody said in the comment section, but he talked about the different women, and you just read that and you be like, damn, some of these bitches today. You know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers don't even know how much women practice witchcraft today. Not Gomorrah. It's another one. It's another one they use a lot. Jezebel. There we go. Thank you. Jezebel. You know what I'm saying? When you start reading things, start researching stuff for yourself, and I believe and see the church only tell you, tell you shit that the women want to hear, right? And put their twist on. But once you start really digging into that Bible and really reading it, and then once you read the Bible and you start reading the offshoots of the Bible or the Catholic version of the Bible, or Miles, why is you going to the door? Is somebody outside? You gonna bite them? Sit down. Thank you. And you start like when you start like really matching what it say to what's going on today, it's gonna blow your mind, bro. It's no way that you can honestly be an atheist once you start seeing a match today. Things that's happening, things that already happened, it's mind blowing. But some people walk faith. Some people walk by faith. And they like, I mean, it's just sometimes when I've been through some stuff and I pray to God and he put me in this position and he done bailed me out so many times. And I don't want to get too religious, but I done been bailed out of situations that I'm like, dog, it's about to be over with for me. And I mean, it ain't nobody but God. Nobody but God could put me out of these situations, bro. It is like when you walk in by faith, all of it is different. But when you believe that walking by faith is just a totally different feeling, bro. Right? False prophets make people change their minds and change but dig in for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Dig in. It's a lot of stuff that's written off the Bible and written off. A lot of these TV shows is like offshoots of, the Bible, or offshoots of stories in the Bible, or offshoots of current events. Like, some people say, X-Men is Martin and Malcolm and all that type of stuff. So you see a lot of program that you see is based off Greek mythology or current events that happen in this country. Even if you look at the TV show that come on, I used to like it. I hated the way it ended, but the Umbrella Academy on Netflix is a good show. If you're in I hated the way it ended. But guess what? They tied in JFK's, upper room, thing when they tied that into the show. So, but yeah, when it's all different stuff. But some people, nature is their nature, And when you see that Pimp and Ken video idea, some people, nature is their nature. It's a balance of it's a fight between good and evil. And there was a lady on Twitter. She was saying it just seems like bad is really winning. This is your perception of what bad is, what evil is. Nobody wakes up and say, "Whoa, I woke up another morning. Ooh, I woke up with eyesight. I woke up with the ability to talk, see, think, drive. I woke up with the ability to be able to work and put food on my table. I woke up to be able to walk, to wake up to a person that I can believe and trust and help me and go life with. I wake up with this beautiful dog. I wake up with a stove, an oven, a roof. We get so spoiled by the things that we got that we don't even look at it as good no more. We look at it as a given until you can't walk, till you can't talk, till you can't see, till you can't eat, till you can't move. We take these things as we take this time and this computer, these hands, the ability to touch, the ability to speak, the ability to reach out to somebody, the ability to talk, the ability to pay our bills, we look at that as a given. We look at that as entitlement. But it's all good things that we don't count as good. So when, we stub our toe on the edge of the bed rail, oh my God, or we beefing with somebody, we don't just look at, we take a lot of the good things for granted. We take them as givens. And Y2K, when everybody power went out, niggas was appreciating power. They was appreciating oven, stove, hot water tank. So yeah, you gotta just think about it from those type of standpoints of views, man. The great things that's happened around us, we just take it for granted. We become entitled. We become entitled, bro. So yeah, I'm a believer. I don't really get too religious on here, man. But yeah, man, my whole point is people's nature is their nature. Some people don't know no better, and you can show them a better light. And it could be you can show them something, but some people are some people. I've seen people help people out, and they still be a thief. Give them everything they want, they still like to steal. Remember, better on Breaking Bad, his wife was just a klepto. You got some people that you give them nothing to complain about. You give them everything they ask for, they're still gonna complain. Ain't nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? So we started kind of talking about this type of stuff. People nature is their nature. Some people can come out that nature. Some people just miserable because they broke. They ain't broke no more, they happy. Some people just miserable because they miserable people. You give them everything, all the money, they're still gonna be fucking miserable. So it really ain't something you can control. You just got to get away from certain people. Some people feel like, some people be around you. You feel like you owe them your presence because, they family or you friend, you owe them something. I don't owe nobody nothing, bro. Honestly. You don't owe nobody nothing. If they don't appreciate you or nothing like that, only people you owe is your parents. That's it. Bible said that you owe your parents. You don't owe nobody. If your brother hoe ass nigga, you hoe ass nigga, your sister hoe ass nigga. Because keeping them type of people around you, you only can go down. You know what I'm saying? You only can go down. You can have the woman that you think is the best woman. A lot of y'all be with women, and your life go down the hill when you get with the woman. God, put it in your eyes to get rid of her. She leave and your life elevate. Ain't no coincidence. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell guys, I got a video coming on Free Game 89. Right now it's scheduled, since I'm looking at it, it's scheduled to be on March 4th at 9 p.m. That could change. But, I was talking about, it says dating coaches advise men to sleep with hundreds of women. That's a bad idea. It's not cool to have a high body count. And I'm going to leave off with this. It's not cool to have a high body count as a man. All these diseases going around, you mixing energy with women and all that, bro. Even with a condom, you still soul tie still can be had. Don't think you got to run up amok fucking all these hoes. And I hate to say it as raw as that. Be choosy, be selective with the women you sleep with. Trust to believe me. Be choosy, be selective. And I'm not even talking about on the physical level as far as like, oh, she can rob you or she can be on the spiritual level. You know what I'm saying? Be careful who you allow into your body, who you allow to be touching, who you allow to sleep with, who you allow to be with. It could be a downfall. Even just take away, let me say this. Take away diseases, right? Just take away all STDs, diseases you can get from having sex. Just think about some of the spiritual diseases that you can have. Think about the spiritual diseases you can have. You ever fuck with a chick and everything just start going downhill. You start fucking. That's real shit. Real shit, bro. Real shit. You start being disgruntled. You start taking on some of her traits. Yeah, y'all fucking. You know what I'm saying? Y'all making a bond. You know, you make a baby. She got some of your traits, her family traits, your family traits. Same thing when y'all fucking. When y'all fucking, you absorb and she absorbs some of your traits while you fucking her. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be choosy who you dealing with. Take the baby, the STD, to be choosy. So be choosy about it, bro. You know, it ain't just about looks. It's about body. A lot of these women be trying to get y'all for money. A lot of these women going around with STDs and they purposely giving it to the guys. You know what I'm saying? They giving it to the guys on purpose. They have them. That's the crazy thing about it. You got women who have a vendetta against men, and they dating while having diseases they know they can't get rid of. You know what I'm saying? And they just angry and upset at the world, and they give it to you. You gotta remember that. So yeah, it's a crazy time out here, man. You gotta watch who you allow in your circle. You gotta observe people, and you know, you gotta just be able to be on your P's and Q's, man. You know, it's kind of one of those crazy times right now where, you know, you want to be single, but you can't be single and mingle because you got all these diseases, these crazy motherfuckers trying to rob you. You want to be in a relationship, but you can't trust nobody. So, you know, really it's just got to vet the people in your life. You know, everybody come in and out your life. And if, you know, a lot of dudes really got 2 or 3 bitches they fucking, you know, that live together. You'd be surprised how many people, but my whole thing about that is this, it's, you know, you still dudes that won't, you got 2 or 3 chicks like Neo, you still want to hit somebody else. So discipline, make sure you just work on your discipline. The best way to work on your discipline, to master discipline, is master discipline of money. But if you can master discipline of loins and you can start turning down women, you know, it's easy to turn down women when you get the pick of the women, but not many guys have that. When you can start turning down women, you know, and start seeing certain things and turn it down, you master that discipline of self, the money, you'll be able to stack money easy. You'll be able to invest money easy. So you'll be able to go to the gym is a little bit different. Everybody ain't wired that way, but it is what it is, man. Appreciate y'all. Let me get up out of here, man.